Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Webinar Series. Today we have a presentation from folks from CatchCorner by Sports Illustrated. We'll just wait a few minutes as some more people start to join us. You'll notice that you have been muted for the time being. Please feel free to use the chat box to introduce yourself or talk to your colleagues. And soon we'll go over some of the Zoom controls before the webinar starts. Okay, in terms of Zoom controls today, as I mentioned, you can use the chat box to introduce yourself and talk to other attendees. You can also use it to ask any technical questions if you're having problems with hearing or seeing anything that's happening in the webinar. Please don't use the raise hand feature because not everyone has access, so we'd prefer if you'd use the chat box instead. If you'd like to ask a question, you can do so using the Q&A box. Only the panelists will be able to see those questions. Please do feel free to ask those questions as they come up, and we'll come to them right at the end of the webinar. And with that, I will move on to introducing our three presenters today, Jonathan Azuri and Maya Azuri, both from CatchCorner, and Rob Wilson from the Town of Newmarket, who will be speaking to how CatchCorner has helped Newmarket modernize its booking systems. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Maya.
Thank you, Pari. So Jonathan, I'll have you share your screen. And I wanted to thank you all first and foremost for having us and for joining us as we share our company, CatchCorner by Sports Illustrated. So I'll wait for the slide deck to be up in just a moment. Jonathan, are you able? Perfect. Thank you. So as mentioned, thank you so much for having us and for joining us. And we can't wait to tell you a little bit more about our company, CatchCorner by Sports Illustrated. As Pari introduced us, my name is Maya, and here with me today is my colleague, Jonathan. So we're so excited to share with you more about CatchCorner, what it is, and how it's revolutionizing the online booking experience for sports, fitness, and recreational activities. Without further ado, we'll do a deep dive into CatchCorner, and at the end, we will open the floor to questions. So as we modernize the booking experience for sports, fitness, and recreational facilities and activities, we first ask ourselves why. What is the current situation in the market? Currently, the situation is twofold. From a client's perspective, when looking to rent spaces, it's generally tedious and low tech and doesn't have a convenient aggregate model. And then on the supply side, we've noticed that recreation facilities tend to be falling behind the innovation curve by not providing a seamless online experience that customers have come to expect. As a result, there's also a ton of back and forth manual effort for facility staff to achieve tasks that could be efficient and streamlined instead. As such, CatchCorner has mobile and web experiences for booking spot-based rentals at facilities. There are two channels for a user to experience, as shown on the slide. The first is the CatchCorner app that shows an aggregate view of what's available in a given geographic area. And the second is a customized online booking portal for your customers to book directly from your facility or organization's website. To apply this to a real life scenario, Town of Newmarket is launching their online booking portal via newmarket.ca. And at the same time, their availability will be shown on the CatchCorner hub, which shows facility availability in the entire Greater Toronto area. The benefit of both of these experiences happening simultaneously is to better serve your clients as well as to expand your reach at the same time. So now we'll show a short video of what the user booking experience looks like using the CatchCorner hub, which was the first experience I mentioned there.
You'd like to book a time slot at a facility? Welcome to the corner. You've definitely come to the right place. To rent an ice, court, field, and so on, select Facility Rentals and indicate the sport or activity you're interested in. To purchase ice time, for example, simply press Hockey. And there you have it, a marketplace of all upcoming availabilities. If you'd like, search between specific dates or specify filters, or preferred arenas to find a great fit. On the corner, we do the work for you. Set an alert and we will notify you if a listing becomes available. If location is your main priority, we've got you covered. Use the filters map to specify the perimeter in your city that makes sense for you. Oh, and just remember that no fees are added to bookings that can be made directly with a facility. So now that you've found a listing of interest, great, time to make it yours. Here, you can see more about the listing details, where, when, you get the idea, and a real glimpse using our 360-degree technology. Pretty cool, eh? If this is what you're looking for, then proceed with your purchase. Time to check out. Users are able to pay with a credit or debit card. Just so you know, when making a booking, you are absolutely covered by our secure status policy. Once you review the details and complete your payment information, you're ready for your purchase. You will automatically be prompted to sign a rental agreement via e-signature in order to complete your purchase. All set, you're in. It's never been this easy. One last thing, if you'd prefer to split the cost with friends, you can do it directly on the corner. And just like that, it's complete. Now all you gotta do is enjoy.
So that video summarized the CatchCorner hub, which was the first of the two experiences that I mentioned. We'll now also show a short video of what the user booking experience looks like using Town of Newmarket's custom branded online booking portal.
Looking to book at one of Town of Newmarket's facilities? Simply visit our website and press Book Now. Begin by selecting the category that you're interested in. Here, you'll be able to find all upcoming availability at our facilities. To view time slots at a specific facility, use the drop-down to select one. If you'd like to stay in the loop about rentals that best suit your schedule, set a personalized alert to be notified. Once you've found a date and time that you're interested in, click on the availability. Here, you can find more details and catch a real glimpse of the space you'll be playing on. If this is what you're looking for, continue to checkout. Review the details and enter your payment information to proceed with your booking. You will automatically be prompted to sign a waiver via e-signature during the checkout. All set, you're in. If you'd like to split the cost with friends, you can do so in just a few clicks. And remember, if you download the CatchCorner app, you can experience all this from your mobile device. Now all you gotta do is enjoy.
So those two videos showed the two channels of the user booking experience powered by CatchCorner. Now, to take a step back and talk a bit more about who we are as a company, as a brief overview, in our second full year of operation, we're now launched in over 5 cities, including Toronto, Chicago, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Saskatoon. We have over 50,000 active users on a monthly basis within the Greater Toronto Area, and we're currently processing over $15 million on an annual basis, with nearly 70% of this activity being generated by the CatchCorner hub alone. In terms of facilities, we're set to be working with over 150 facilities in the coming months, And from a team perspective, we started out as a team of 3, and we're, as of last week, now a team of 20. In addition to all of this, CatchCorner has many incredible affiliates and clients. Some notables include the Town of Newmarket, Canland Sports, Authentic Brands Group, and the intensive partnership agreement signed with the Sports Illustrated brand. This recent partnership with Sports Illustrated provides tons of exposure for CatchCorner and all of its client facilities, as CatchCorner will be integrated within the Sports Illustrated website, which has over 30 million unique monthly active visitors. So now that we've touched upon the user side and told you a little bit more about our CatchCorner journey, let's switch gears and focus on how a facility can utilize CatchCorner's suite of software. So from a high-level perspective, CatchCorner can be used by a facility or municipality in 2 ways. The first way is by making CatchCorner your internal inventory system or calendar. And the second way is by using CatchCorner as a plugin to another inventory system or calendar. So let's take a look at these 2 use cases through a short explanation video. Let's briefly show a visual to depict the 2 different uses of the CatchCorner facility software. The first way in which you can use CatchCorner is as your internal inventory system. If you use CatchCorner in this way, you would log into catchcornercorporate.com. Your calendar would look something like this. This calendar would be your main inventory management system, including offline bookings and contracts, online available times, and sold online bookings. You would navigate between spaces by pressing the tabs here at the top. And if you have multiple facilities, you can easily switch between them on one account. Alternatively, if you are currently using an internal system such as Easy Facility, Class, Max Galaxy, and so on, CatchCorner would be used as a plug-in extension to the software that you are currently using. Simply put, you would continue to use your current internal calendar the way you do right now. All bookings, invoices, and customer information would remain in the system you are using. So where does CatchCorner fit in? CatchCorner simply will sync to your current calendar in order to display available times online on both the CatchCorner app and your website. CatchCorner will only show the time slots that you'd like to sell online. On your account, there will be specified parameters and rules such as your hours of operation, booking durations, and more, which we will show in detail momentarily. CatchCorner looks for the available times in your current scheduling system that meet the specified parameters and rules, and then displays this to the end user. This powerful scheduling sync, coupled with the extremely customizable rules and parameters set, ensure that only proper times are shown online. All in all, these are the 2 separate uses of the CatchCorner facility software. Regardless if you use CatchCorner as your internal inventory system or as a plug-in extension, there are many advanced features to make use of that we will now show. So one more note before we move on here. For those who are looking at the option of using CatchCorner as their internal system, there are many internal features to show. While CatchCorner's calendar is a more basic solution than an extensive system like Class, based on your needs, CatchCorner can serve as a software for handling internal scheduling, storing customer information, and managing bookings. If you'd like to learn more about using CatchCorner as your internal system, this can be shown on a separate demo by contacting us after the presentation. We'd like to go back and now demonstrate a brief overview of the main facility features that can be programmed for your customized online account. So we'll simply show an overview and explain the capabilities of these features that each facility can make use of. but it should be mentioned that these features are optional and can be used based on a facility's discretion and preference. So to begin, the first section I want to cover here, we'll start with the custom availability rules. As mentioned in the video, there are hard-coded parameters and rules that can be set in order to show the exact times and availability that you'd like to display online. The common theme to note is that you're in complete control as to what's available to an end user at all times. So the first thing here is that we typically set your hours of operation. This can be completely customizable in the sense that even if your facility had different hours of operation for each day of the year, technically it can be easily programmed. Next are availability durations. With this, you select the durations that someone could book for. For instance, if you wanted people to only book for 1 hour rental slots, we can specify that. If you have spaces that can be booked for an hour and a half or 2 hours, etc., that can be implemented too. Another item worth mentioning is that availability durations are also programmed based on your space's schedule. So for example, if you have a rink that can be rented for 1 hour durations and the rink schedule is on the half an hour due to ice Zamboni resurfacing, in this particular case, someone would only be able to book 4:30 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30, and so on. So availability shown always matches availability you have. And it should be mentioned that CatchCorner can also take into account any setup and takedown parameters that you have. So next we move into pricing. The nice thing with CatchCorner is that you can have as many different rates as you like, and rates can also be customized based on the time of day, day of the week, and more. Something else that's neat is you can choose dynamic pricing options, which allow you to automatically discount rates when an availability will expire. For instance, you may choose that 24 hours before an availability takes place, only weekday ice rink prices should automatically drop by 10% of the standard rate. Again, that's entirely customizable and up to you. And in relation to pricing, if you'd like to associate booking options to availability, you can easily do that too. This would be used if you want to associate multiple pricing options to one available time. So for example, Town of Newmarket has a youth resident rate, an adult resident rate, and a non-resident rate. As a user is checking out, he or she must select the applicable option. And it should be mentioned that these packages can be whatever you'd like them to be. The last item in relation to availability is resource mapping. So if you have spaces that are byproducts of other spaces, CatchCorner can easily handle those situations too. And an example of this would be if you have a basketball court that can be rented as 2 volleyball courts, for example. Overall, when it comes to setting parameters, CatchCorner has endless features and rules that can be applied. The ones we spoke about simply scratch the surface. And this is why we typically ask facilities to explain us their booking rules, and we'll make it happen. So once you explain it to us, the chances are we have a feature that can handle any availability rule that you'll present us with. All of what I just mentioned pertains to the custom availability rules section that you can personalize for your organization or facility. The next section of facility features that I'd like to touch on allows you to display any booking information to your end user. So here are some examples of the main ones that I'd like to cover. With CatchCorner, you're able to show a customer exactly what's being booked, whether it's through the primary space photo as shown on the slide, or a carousel of images for someone to scroll through, or even a real life 360 view image. A customer can explore the space with these visual aids before they proceed to check out. Another way to display information, there are areas where you can add descriptive information to relay to your customer. CatchCorner has these ready-made sections, and you can actually display disclosures, descriptions, even COVID protocols. And in terms of administrative information, we can use the fine print area to get that information across. That might be info like the refund policy, ice floods, etc. So any of the mentioned details would be easily presented to your customers through these CatchCorner ready-made sections. Now, if a user needs more information, he or she can also browse through readily inputted, frequently asked questions specifically about your facility or organization so that they can get a better understanding. These are FAQ that we set together for your facility or organization, and customers are able to read through these while they're booking. And CatchCorner as well has live support that's always available if customers have technical related questions on how to book, proceed, etc. And the final element that I'd like to mention about relaying information to your customers, if you want to include any follow-on information after someone books, you can easily do so also. So in addition to the standard confirmation email that a customer would receive, we can program custom notifications for a user to receive after they book. For instance, if you have to reiterate COVID protocol, you can set email and text notifications that the rentee will receive right after they've booked in order to highlight these details. And you could also set these notifications as reminders. So for example, if you have, if a customer has a booking taking place in 6 hours from now, and you'd like that sent as a text or an email to remind the COVID protocols, that can be a reminder follow-on notification as well. With this, you could also attach any items to it. So if you wanted there to be a contract tracing form and anything of that nature, that can be easily programmed into the follow-on information too. Now, moving to the next section of facility features, certain CatchCorner features actually allow you to request information from the end user, and I'll go over some of the features here too. The first notable mention here relates to creating custom booking forms for users to fill out at checkout. So you can create a form with several fields for the user to fill out. These fields can include text fields, question fields, drop downs, and checklists. And an advanced option that can be included in the form are add-ons. So for instance, if you charge $5 more to use facility equipment, a customer can easily select an additional add-on, and the fee would actually be automatically added and charged within that booking. Another advanced option that we have within these forms is our in-app screening or document upload function. For instance, if you want to request that someone easily upload their driver's license on file or proof of liability insurance, you can easily request these things in a very modern and streamlined manner as shown. One item worth mentioning that Town of Newmarket is using within their booking forms are database queries. And with this, if a user selects a resident rate, they'll be asked to type in their respective resident ID in order to unlock that booking option. So essentially, you can add back-end capabilities to this booking form to make it make sense for you. And it should be mentioned, you can have as many different types of forms as you need. In Newmarket's case, there's a different form for residents and non-residents to fill out. Now, another feature that can be used when requesting information is our smart contract technology. So as a user's checking out, a permit or rental agreement can be automatically generated, similar to what was shown in the first two videos. And this contract will be automatically filled in with any client and booking information. And as seen, once it's generated, the user can electronically sign the document directly at checkout. Now, in addition to the signed document, an electronic record of contract is established, and that stays on file for both the user and the facility staff. So the next section that I'd like to move on to is operational safeguards, and we'll just touch on a few of the most popular ones there. In general, with CatchCorner, all booking notifications happen in real time. So these can be in the form of email or text messages, and you can select as many staff as needed to receive these notifications. This can be customized really based on the space by space, on a day and time basis, or even on a case by case basis. So for instance, if you wanted to have a staff member only receive booking notifications from 9 to 3 on weekdays for ice rinks, and you wanted another staff member to receive notifications for bookings from 3 to 7 p.m. on weekdays for meeting rooms, you can easily make that distinction and they'll receive the respective notifications. The main point here is that you can choose who gets informed, when they get informed, and in what situations do they get informed. I hope you're all noticing the similar pattern here. Everything stays in your control and you can set all customization for your organization. So in order to set notification structures, and in addition to that, you can create custom alerts for staff members. For instance, if you wanted to include an additional notification to be sent for same day last minute bookings, that can be programmed too. So if something came in today, you could have a notification go to a separate email address, for example, notifying about that same day last minute booking. Now, when it comes to online booking capabilities, some facilities like to manually approve all online transactions before they're finalized. If that's the case, you can opt into our approved bookings functionality. And with this, in one click, a staff member can view all client information and approve and finalize the relevant booking. So you'll receive all the customer information beforehand, and then you can approve it afterwards if you have the approved booking functionality turned on. Another operational safeguard that can be used is our deactivation time period functionality. And with this, if you want there to be hours where users are limited and they cannot proceed to checkout during certain hours of the day, that's when the deactivation time periods comes into play. So for example, if you only want to receive online bookings from Monday to Friday during the hours of 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can easily turn on your online booking for turn on your online booking for those hours and turn off your online booking for the other hours. So when a user would go to your online booking or the CatchCorner app at 8 p.m., for example, they'll be able to see availability, but not to proceed to checkout. So this feature simply helps with internal logistics. So you're really setting the times where your online booking is active versus the times where you do not want people to proceed to checkout and establish that booking. Now, in terms of lead time for taking bookings, you can also select the amount of time in advance that you need in order to process a booking. For example, if you need at least 48 hours in advance for facility operations, you can set that the soonest availability that appears is always 2 days away. And on the flip side, you can also set how far in advance someone can see availability and book. So for instance, if you wanted to limit users to only seeing availability for the next 21 days, you can do that too. And the last thing in terms of operational features that helps with tasks for processing bookings. So there's one item that's very heavily used for processing bookings is our auto permit functionality. And with this, once a booking is confirmed, the user's permit can be automatically sent to the user for download. And it can be sent to the user as an email or as a text message or both. Now, truly, when it comes to being operationally sound, our goal is to give you an online modern presence without sacrificing your control. I really hope that's a message that we've shown throughout the features here. It's everything remains in your control. And we've worked with facilities that have a free-for-all approach and some facilities that have a very tight-knit approach. I think there are definitely enough advanced operational safeguards that both approaches can work very well with CatchCorner. So the final section to show here, we'll quickly touch on some of the miscellaneous elements that can be utilized by your facility or organization. The first item here, as an alternative to our real-time online refunds, something quite self-explanatory. If you have users that require credits, credits can always be added to their online accounts. And you can also even create promo codes for specific items. And with that, if you want a specific user group to have a confidential code, you can do that as well. Now, another item worth mentioning, if you require all participants to sign waivers, that works too. We can embed items within the checkout flow or within the follow-on notification flow So we have readily made solutions if you don't have online participant waivers and you want to transition to that as well. That can be done with CatchCorner. Now, in terms of liability insurance, we're nearing a deal with an insurance provider to allow us to embed insurance purchase options directly within the checkout process. This is something that should be live within the next quarter. So it's something that CatchCorner will have as well, and you can take advantage of. Now, one feature to mention, perhaps a use case that you may be dealing with, sometimes people have purchased ice time and they can't use it. So working with Newmarket, we've actually formulated a relist ice portal, which allows users to safely transfer their ice to another user group. Some items within here include contract regeneration and safe payments. And one other note, if you would like to refrain from people actually transferring their ice for a price that's higher than they originally paid for it, working with Newmarket, we've also established that you can include price ceilings with CatchCorner. So again, you could always stay in the loop of what's going on with ice resale at all times, and you can set these parameters around it to transfer ice safely. Another item here, CatchCorner also lends support for marketing elements. So it's much more than just a booking system. We really help with all items here. And in terms of marketing your online booking, CatchCorner will provide you with these sleek stand-up banners as shown on the screen, and even a how-to video or a selection of videos that explain your new online booking system. And that can be added on your website so that customers can see exactly how to book. Now, in general, when working with CatchCorner, we share the mutual belief that participation amongst community members in recreational activities is extremely important. I mean, it's actually the reason we started this business in the first place. So we believe that by providing the most user-friendly booking option will help promote activity amongst all demographics. And really, in a world where people have just come to expect online modernized booking options, we continue to upgrade our ever-growing product to stay with the times. And these revisions and up-to-date upgrades happen to the CatchCorner hub, but it's very important for me to mention that at the same time, simultaneously, these constant improvements are also happening to your organization's personal online booking. And in addition to offering customers an unparalleled booking option, you also have constant promotion from CatchCorner's hub, which reaches many individuals in many communities via our digital ads and even through Sports Illustrated based offerings. Now, one quick note on how to continue or program your account. The process of working with CatchCorner is fairly simple. Our team will help you creatively make use of all the features that I mentioned and assemble your account together. So you'll be working with us every step of the way. And from the account setup, we'll also have revisions and we'll go through the whole process together. You'll always have real-time support in achieving exactly what you want to. One notable is that continues after the setup as well. So even once you're live, there's ongoing support at all times from CatchCorner. So we don't leave any stone unturned really, and our goal is to bring you a ready-to-use solution. So I think you've heard me speak enough at this point. I'm going to transition and ask Rob Wilson from the Town of Newmarket to share a few words about Town of Newmarket's experience of working with CatchCorner.
Hi, everybody. So thanks very much for having me on the call today. As Maya mentioned, my name is Rob Wilson. I'm the manager of culture and community events with the Town of Newmarket. Just a heads up, today has been an absolute nightmare for me from a technical standpoint. So I have got like Band-Aids and bootstraps going left, right, and center to make sure I can be here to share our experience with CatchCorner. So if I drop, I really apologize, but I think I can get through this. So bear with me here. So the Town of Newmarket, one of our colleagues came across the CatchCorner hub in their personal life as a hockey dad and let the Rec and Culture Department know about it. So we were able to reach out to CatchCorner, just the mysterious corporate email address. And sure enough, Jonathan and Maya came up personally to deliver a demonstration of their technology for us. And there was a synergy right from the very start. So we had the standard municipal questions, who else you're working with. And so we learned that they had some partnerships around, as you've already heard, they've grown, but around Toronto and some other areas as well in the States. But they didn't have a formal municipal partner yet. And so we saw that as an opportunity to work together. So there's a really great fit right from the very first meeting. So we circled back, met again to look at some of the technical components of their solution and how we sort of do our thing. And we're still running class 8.0 in Newmarket. And rather than scare the CatchCorner team away, they thought it was an even better opportunity to show the flexibility and the strength of their solution. So we've been working with them seamlessly to get set up and up and running. And so I think Maya was just sort of speaking about the account setup and the customization. And when they say plug and play, it's exactly what it is. So we haven't had to change many, if any, of our processes internally. There's a couple small things that we do to make sure the systems are working properly and in sync together, so that we're not having a duplicate systems. And it's been incredibly simple. You saw in the branded videos, there were some 360 photos of our spaces. CatchCorner team did that for us. They've sent us some branded marketing materials. They set up our Newmarket kind of zone and page, which you saw earlier in the presentation as well. And the ice transfers and the price ceiling was a feature that they developed based strictly on our feedback, knowing that it could assist the broader municipal world. As the manager who looks after permitting our arenas, you can imagine the scenario of a group having ice time purchased at a lower rate and then reselling it for a profit. That would be a disaster for us. So they've been able to solve that problem for us, which is amazing. So we were pretty much ready to launch right before the pandemic hit, which obviously threw a wrench in everybody's plans. But rather than sit back and sort of be a victim of the situation, Jonathan and Maya and their team, they just set to work. They kept improving their solution and frankly became an even better business. And I like to say we knew CatchCorner before Sports Illustrated did. So they continued to innovate, which is really great. And their business actually grew when a lot of other ones were sitting back or potentially even going the other way. So we're looking forward to launching ice rentals first the next few days. And then we're going to branch out to the other types of facilities and leverage some of the exciting features like the packages that you heard about. The customer-centric side of things is really where we're excited to see what CatchCorner can offer our community. And so just to wrap up my little part of the presentation here, I've personally worked on a number of software implementations in the municipal sector, and I can tell you that working with Jonathan and Maya is about as good as it gets. You've seen how fast they've grown and how many different markets they're in and facilities. But Newmarket, my team, we've always felt like we were their biggest client. And it's like sometimes I forget that they're even working with all these other people because it seems like we're their sole focus. So anyway, that's all I have to say. If anybody has any questions from the membership here, I'd be happy to field them. You can send me an email or give me a call anytime. You can just call us here at Newmarket, and I'd be glad to get back to you. So I'm going to pass it back to Maya and Jonathan and just say thanks for including me on the call today. And I will continue to keep my fingers crossed that I can watch the rest of the presentation. So thanks for letting me join today, guys.
Thank you, Rob. And we are so happy your Wi-Fi really made it through all of that, because that was very kind of you, and all the same back to you. It's been so awesome working with Newmarket and with you. So just going back to the presentation here, all in all, to recap CatchCorner, CatchCorner by Sports Illustrated is revolutionizing the online booking experience for sports, fitness, and recreational activities. This presentation really scratches the surface of what CatchCorner's technical capabilities can do, which is why we ask that if you're interested, contact us afterwards, tell us a bit about your current operation, and that way we can tailor the customized solution that's right for you. And in general, thank you for being here today. We really thank you for your attention, and we now open the floor to questions.
Thank you, Maya and Rob, for that presentation. It was really wonderful, very informative. We have a few questions rolling in. The first is, If we wanted to have birthday party booking options, is that possible?
Okay, so that's a great question. And the short answer is yes. And the long answer is that with the current technology, you can definitely utilize the platform for birthday party bookings. And that can be done with packages, add-ons, and a lot of the features that we really barely covered and that we can share more about. But one thing to mention as well is that we're currently developing an extension that's completely designated for event-based bookings. So that would be corporate events, birthday parties, as mentioned in the question. And this release will give a ton more of tailored tools for event bookings. So we can do it right now, but it's only getting more and more powerful and a lot more geared for tailoring to the exact use of a birthday party or of a corporate event. And I'll just take a moment to also just mention, while we're talking about coming soon features, I'd also like to mention we're going to be launching a category for programs, which includes leagues, classes, camps, drop-ins, and more. So in general, right now, if you put in place working with CatchCorner with our space rental software, which is what we showed today, it also unlocks many key advantages when these coming soon features are actually released.
Great, thank you, Maya. The next question is the software server stored and housed in Canada?
So I could take that one, Maya. Yes. So basically, long story short, based on where the municipality is, it's stored. It's stored. Like I would say, right next to it. So if a facility is launching on like the West Coast, as an example, we would have a different server for that. But long story short, in Ontario, it's all housed in Ontario.
Great, thank you. Someone related, can you put the rates based on membership?
Yeah. So essentially, yes, you could. You could have as many different rates as you want. So if you wanted to have for instance, a member rate versus a non-member rate, you could do that. If for instance, the membership actually, let's say, like requires a specific code or an ID or something that unlocks that rate, you could easily do that as well. And it also should be mentioned that, for instance, if you have a specific rate that is meant for, let's say, like a membership, but 2 days before it also opens up for non-members, then you could customize that as well. So really, it's whatever you're trying to achieve, we could do, whether it switches based on the rental date, or whether it's just a simple unlock. We have enough features that we could handle any single situation in that manner.
Great, thank you so much. One more related question about features. Is there going to be a gym membership feature?
So yes, we did also launch within the fitness category too. So that includes fitness spaces, dance studios, etc., and it would work in the exact same manner that I just described.
Great, thank you. And oops, sorry. Do you have a mobile app ability specifically for facility staff to access?
So currently, right now, it's going to be mobile browser based. So there isn't a designated mobile app from the Google Play Store or from the iOS store. However, that is something that is on the like I would say on the, let's say, like horizon. But the mobile app will be I would say designed to be more on the go. Anything that is CatchCorner based would be more extensive on the desktop software. And one thing that I would say too is that if you are using it, there is a distinction whether you're using CatchCorner as your internal calendar versus just let's say using it as a plugin. So if it's based on a plugin, then there may even be a situation where you'll be able to manage without actually accessing the CatchCorner portal, you'll be able to do everything the exact same way that you currently do on the platform that you actually are currently using right now. But if you are going to be using it as your internal system, then that's when you would be using those advanced I would say software solutions for that need. So it really just depends how you're going to be using CatchCorner, whether it's a plugin or whether it's an internal system on its own.
Great, thank
And
you.
just to touch on what Jonathan had mentioned there currently is the mobile browser version, so that already works. I think what he's saying is that down the line there, on the horizon, there should be a mobile app as well. But with your use of CatchCorner, a lot of the time, the mobile options we have are sufficient, and that could be approving bookings from your phone, certain things like that are already in place. It really would be a case by case of how CatchCorner is being used.
Great, thank you. 2 questions on integration. Do you have integration with Google Calendar, and do you integrate with Keystone?
So just to like I'll get to this like exact question, but really in terms of the integration, there's enough of a plug and play that we've come across many different internal systems, and truthfully, it's on a case by case basis. But we've come across enough that I could say with certainty that 99% of the cases that we'll be dealing with, we have a solution for. When it comes to something like Google Calendar, yes, we do have something which allows you to essentially export the bookings onto there. One thing that I could say is, depending if you're just using Google Calendar as like a sub calendar to your internal system, then obviously we could export into that. But with that being said, if Google Calendar is your primary calendar that you're currently using, at that point, I would say that the internal CatchCorner calendar would be probably the optimal solution to go with that. But really, like the main theme here, and it's the main theme with everything, it's whatever you're looking for. Truthfully, we have a solution for it, and if there is something that needs to be a bit more customizable, we work with you, and we don't just say this is the software, this is how it is. Just how Rob mentioned, we really like the feedback, and we really like to go back and forth and make it make sense for you in every single way.
Great, thank you. Oh, sorry.
So I just wanted to cut in. Sorry about that. So just in a sense, there are some softwares that it could be on a case by case. We could say, like, if this is what you're looking for capability wise, CatchCorner's calendar can do all of those things. But in terms of syncing with other softwares, that would be kind of like a discussion afterwards. But the sync with class, for example, is already in place, and that's something that we customized with Town of Newmarket, for example. So that's entirely on a case-by-case basis, but there will definitely be a solution for that. So for the 2 that were mentioned earlier.
And I did see one question in relation to an accounting software. Right now, there's enough capabilities that you could essentially, if you needed to have in a CSV format or in an Excel format, a file which spits out all bookings for a certain duration, et cetera. There's enough reporting tools that essentially could help with that integration. So whether you're currently using something that's a bit more cloud-based, or I would say like an internal one, we have enough that we could probably make an integration with the current accounting software as well.
Great, thank you. The last question I see here is, in terms of the features, do you have to pay per feature? For example, facility and program, would they be separate fees?
Yeah, so Right now, and I think this is just a bit more of a general note, that because we currently have something that is tailored for a specific need, as we launch the other feature, if you're currently already working with us, there's really competitive pricing in order to add something on. So it won't be that there's, let's say, a rack rate to use, let's say the program-based software, and you'll be charged that exactly. We're very flexible when it comes to pricing. We're very flexible when it comes to making it make sense for you. And with that being said, it's exactly on the same token when it comes to our cross category features, and that's the same when you're looking at facility rentals and birthday parties, classes, camps, leagues, etc. There's a lot of cross synergies between all of it, and we make it make sense for you in that sense.
Great, thank you. I have one more question. I'm a smaller municipality than Newmarket. Would this solution still work for me?
So I'll take this one, Jonathan. I love this question. I think the beauty of CatchCorner is that the program is so adaptable and it lets us work with such a wide range of facilities and organizations. In general, we've worked with small, medium, and large facilities, businesses, community centers, schools, libraries, venue halls, and a municipal body here. So I guess our rule is simple. If you have a space and it has a start time and an end time for rental, we can handle it. Our focus is currently on recreational spaces, but we can power any type of space that you have. So definitely that's something that we can do regardless of the size, small, medium, or large.
Great, thanks, Maya. Will you be integrating Apple Pay options?
So I'll take that one. Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, we're actually going to be releasing it in the next quarter. So that includes actually Apple Pay and also I would say Google Pay options as well. And just as a general note here, really when it comes to anything that's customer centric, the one thing that I can say is that we're always going to stay completely ahead of the game when it comes to that. So I would say modernization is our biggest tool here, and we're really, at the end of the day, primarily a very appealing and very I would say customer centric product from every single aspect of it. So yes, that will be coming, and same with a lot of other customer based features.
Great. And what does the training process look like?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'll take this one, Jonathan. So in general, as we mentioned, the training process really depends on your exact needs. Whether your operations are currently being handled in a low-tech manner or in a high-tech process, we'll tailor that training process for you. So our belief is really that the technology only goes as far as the people behind it. For that reason, we ensure that there's no stone left unturned before you get going. That's a common theme during the onboarding and account setup process, but also afterwards, once you are live, as I mentioned, our support 24/7, honestly. So we'll make sure that you're ready to get going, but also once you're live, that you can always contact CatchCorner at any time.
Great, thank you. Another one, I'm in the GTA. What is your reach? Would I get bookings just from the CatchCorner app?
Okay, so I'll take that one. And yes, so actually, I'm not sure Maya mentioned this, but about 70% of the bookings that are right now coming through CatchCorner are actually from the CatchCorner hub. So I would say that yes, the online booking portal is extremely important. It's an amazing solution. I think that one main item here though is that it's serving your clients but also expanding your reach at the same time. So in the GTA, for instance, if you were to not even have an online booking portal and just strictly have it on the CatchCorner hub, there would be a lot more activity, and I'd say community participation from the get-go. And also, with that being said, that's all without us actually integrating on the Sports Illustrated site. So I would say the biggest thing here is that CatchCorner is an amazing solution that could help serve your current needs, your current let's say community. But at the same time, CatchCorner is always promoting more and more, I would say, participation in the locations that are actually near you.
Great, thank you, Jonathan. And on that note, I think we can wrap up for today. If you have any further questions, you can email Maya at Maya, at catchcorner.com. Thank you again for taking the time to present to us and taking this battery of questions we've thrown at your way.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Okay, take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.